Hello friends, welcome back to a new video. I first want to acknowledge the elephant in the room. I did chop my hair. I'm about 2 days into the new look and I love it. I'm still learning how to style it. When I first got it styled, I told my hairstylist that I wanted the old money look with the curtain bangs, and I do feel like it definitely gave that at the salon because she did the blowout and I loved it, but I do not have the hair tools to do a blowout at home. So I'm currently trying to figure out how to make it look cute without having the blowout that I did in the salon. But I really love it. This is just all natural right now, plain, just threw a hair clip in it, but I think I really love it. It's really cute. So yeah, welcome back to another vlog. Wanted to get that out of the way. I think I'm just gonna have this be a chatty reading vlog slash week in my life. I'm just going to be super chill. I did just film a video that was a weekend in my life cozy vlog, and it was kind of my test run to see how I felt about being back on YouTube and all of the work it involves and everything. And I really was happy with how it turned out. I was happy with how long it took me to edit things and all of that I was kind of concerned about. And so I'm doing another video. I'm still taking it slow. I'm not really gonna say for sure posting schedule, but my goal is around 2 to 3 videos a month. So we will see if that happens. But I'm super happy y'all are here. Thank you for clicking on this video. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you enjoy my content. But let's get into the video. I want to do some cozy reading for sure. So this is probably going to be partly a reading vlog, and then maybe some cozy baking, and then just chatting. I really don't have a huge expectation for this vlog as far as a structure. It's just going to be chatting and hanging out with me. So, first item on the agenda for this vlog, let's do a little bit of a reading update. So, I was reading Blackmore by Julianne Donaldson in the last vlog I did, and I was about halfway through. So, let me give you my thoughts. I've now finished it, and let me just tell you what I thought about it. I enjoyed it. I gave this one I think 3.5 stars. Not as good as Edenbrook, but I think it was a little bit of a right book, wrong time, maybe. I can't ever read Regencies back to back to back, and I had just read Edenbrook really recently before this, and this was another Regency Gothic romance, really, really similar vibe, but just a little bit more Gothic and a little bit, honestly, in my opinion, a little bit more predictable and slow. And so I kind of felt like I was reading the same book, but just not as good. And since, in my opinion, nothing will hold a candle to Edenbrook, this just kind of felt like a watered down version of it. So I didn't love it as much, but again, I think that if I would have read this like before Edenbrook or a while after to kind of get my system reset for it, I think that I would have enjoyed it more. With that said, it was completely clean, just kisses. It did have a few steamy kissing scenes, but nothing crazy. No language. So I enjoyed it. 3.5. Usually 3 star is I wouldn't really recommend it. If it's 3.5 or more, I would still recommend it. So I would recommend it, especially because I'm a really harsh critic, specifically when I have a high expectation from an author like Julianne Donaldson. I expect 6 star, and then 3.5 stars really doesn't feel like it's good. And that's not really fair to the author. So take that with a grain of salt. Know that I'm kind of a harsh critic when it comes to things like that. But that was this book. Now for a little tiny book haul. I got 2 new books recently, totally random from each other. One, I was at Books A Million, which I never go to Books A Million, but we just moved, like I said in my last video, to a new house, and we have a Books A Million by our new house, so I just had to go and check it out. And y'all, I think I'm gonna be a Books A Million girly. They had a huge clearance section in the back with books for like $5 that are like very popular, well known authors, really good quality books, nothing wrong with them. That's a really good deal, in my opinion. So I'm really excited about this one. I got The Crescent Moon Tea Room. Is that not the cutest little cover? I'm obsessed. This was a little bit of a cover buy, but also I never really buy a book unless I'm really confident I'm going to enjoy it. And I did some research on Goodreads while I was in the bookstore and on some just Google search, and everyone said this was a completely clean, wholesome story. And also, I think it's about three sisters, not as much about a romance. And I actually really love that. I think the older I get, this is going to make me sound so like old and mature. I'm not trying to say that, but the older I get, I think I'm going to enjoy stories about siblings or families a lot more than I used to versus just romance. I still obviously love romance, but when I saw it was about three sisters, I was like, absolutely, I'm one of three sisters. So called to me, I really want to read it. So I'm really excited. I don't know much about it, but all right, sorry, all my camera battery died in the middle of that. So let's continue on. The next book that I'm currently reading, and I'm only like a few chapters into it, is Growing by Sonia Skipworth. This is the second book in the Camp Champion series, which I'm really enjoying. It is Christian fiction. I read the first book in this series, Willing, and I absolutely loved it. This author is actually also from Alabama, where I'm from, and so we connected. She's amazing and so sweet, and I've loved her series. So this one continues on the story about Jordan, who in the first book you learned it was a troubled teen who had to go to a camp called Camp Champions to help with special needs kids to kind of pay for the damage that he caused while he was causing trouble. While he's there, it just shows a really good redemption story and a really sweet romance too, and just really sweet friendship dynamics. So I really enjoyed that one. This one continues on with Jordan's story, and I don't want to say any too much because it's going to give spoilers, but continues on with his life and what he's doing at Camp Champion, and I think it's going to be really sweet. So this one's pretty thick. I think it's like, well, it's only 300 pages. It just kind of looks thick, but it's a beautiful watercolor cover. So, really excited to read this one. I'm in the middle of it right now. And then the other one that I'm reading on my Kindle is, I'm going to really butcher this name, Agnes Ogbert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett. I absolutely loved the Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies series by Heather Fawcett. One of my favorite series. I literally have the covers sitting on my bookshelf beside me, and I just look at them and they make me happy. So, this one's from that author as well. It's a new release that came out, I think, just a couple weeks ago. So, I somehow got it from my library and I'm so excited to read it. So, I'm about 6% in right now, so not very far, but I'm really enjoying it. So, I think on today's list, it's already past 5 p.m., and I need to make dinner in a little bit. But I think until it's time to make dinner, I'm going to sit down and try to get a chunk of reading done. So we're going to read some of Agnes Albert's Mystical Cat Shelter, I think. We're also going to read a little bit of Growing. So those are our two books. Let's settle in, get cozy, and do a little bit of reading. Alright, I'm back. I made it up to page 46 and it is good so far. I'm not super far in. And honestly, I don't really know what to say about this book that I could tell you without it feeling like spoilers, since this is the second book. But we're diving a lot more into Jordan's life as he's becoming more of an adult. He was 18, I think, in the first book, and he is now in college, being a little bit more serious in a relationship, and I'm really enjoying it. There are some parts where I'm like fearful for him with some things that are happening, and I'm nervous to see how things are going to turn out, but also like seeing how he's nervous too, but he's trusting God in it, and he knows at the end of the day, and Rachel, his girlfriend, is encouraging him that at the end of the day that God has him and he has a good plan for him and everything is going to be okay. So That's really encouraging. I'm enjoying it. That's probably all I'll say about it because I really don't want to give spoilers, but I do recommend this series from what I've read. So that's that book. I'm gonna now dive into Agnes Ogburt's Mystical Cat Shelter. I'm gonna have to come up with some sort of like other name for that book because one, it's a mouthful, and two, I think I'm saying it wrong. Let's dive into our other book. All right, I just got to a stopping point in Agnes Ogburt's Mystical Cat Shelter. You guys, I'm loving this book. It is so fun. I've heard people say that it's like the vibe of kind of Harry Potter or the Fantastical Beasts series. This is just like so cozy, but also not boring. Like, I'm only, I think, on chapter 9, maybe. We just dove right in, and I love the characters. I love our main character, Agnes. She's honestly really relatable, and she's so funny and down to earth, and I love it. And I just realized I haven't given you any information on what this book is about. So let me backtrack and tell you a little bit about this book. Also, I'm sorry for the grainy camera quality. It's just what we're working with. It's like almost 8 p.m. and it's just what we're working with it. But this book is about a lady named Agnes who owns a mystical cat shelter. And she had her shelter kind of torn down from this sort of villain guy that is apparently trying to, like, in this world, he's trying to, like, end the world with his magic. And he's going around, I think, like, with these. Sorry, that was my oven. He's going around in this magical, fictional, cozy town they're in, and like blowing up certain buildings with his magic. And her cat shelter was one of the buildings that got blown up. So she's trying to find a new building to rent for her cat shelter. We kind of are getting to see that she's not doing super well. It's a charitable business, so she doesn't have a lot of extra income. Her expenses are tight, her budget is tight, and so she's trying to just find anything that's affordable for her cat shelter. And right now I've gotten to the part where she's been looking around. Her and her sister kind of co-own this cat shelter, and they're looking around trying to find one for a new building. And I'm at the part where she just found this really sus building, and everything just seems too perfect. It's really cheap and it's in a good area, which doesn't make sense. There's nothing wrong with it, but she keeps having all the townspeople be like, no, you don't need to rent that building. And so she's like, I don't know what they're talking about, but I need a building and I don't have a lot of money or time, so I'm gonna rent the building. So I've just gotten to the point where she's rented the building. She's about to move in. I watched Abigail's Cup of Tea review this book, which made me want to read it so bad, but I don't know any spoilers, but I do know the gist of what's gonna happen, so I'm not gonna say anything. All that to say, I'm really enjoying this book more than I expected. Sometimes I have a hard time getting into cozy fantasies, specifically if I've been reading cozy fantasies, and I have. I'm also at the tail end of A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, which I'm loving. I'm listening to the audiobook. I have about 2 hours left, but typically when I read one, it's hard for me to go straight into the other, but I am having no trouble with this. So I'm going to keep reading a little bit tonight, but then Micah is going to be home in a few minutes from work, and we're going to eat dinner and then watch our show, which I need to talk about how much I am loving the show that we're watching right now. It is the Count of Monte Cristo show with Sam Claflin that just came out on Prime. I love it. I never watched The Count of Monte Cristo, the movie, growing up. I never read the book, but Micah read the book growing up and watched the movie, and it was just like he loved it. It was a whole thing. So a couple years ago, Micah was like, you need to watch this movie. And I was like, I don't want to watch some boring, like, old literature movie. I take it all back. I take it back. I loved the movie, and then I haven't read the book, but I do want to read it. But the show came out, and all I saw was there was going to be a show and that Sam Claflin played Edmond Dantes, which is the main guy. That is all I needed to know. So I am hooked on the show. Me and Micah absolutely love it. Tonight we're going to be starting, I think, episode either 5 or 6 of 8 episodes. So we're getting close to the end, and I'm like really sad it's going to be over, to be honest, because I have not enjoyed a show like this probably since Severance, which we finished that show like probably a year ago. So I have not had a good show that I've enjoyed in such a long time. So I am excited to watch it tonight. So he's going to be here in a few minutes. We're going to eat dinner, watch our show. So I may not get to too much more of this, but who knows, I might read a little bit before bed. That's my reading update, and I don't know, I'll pick up the camera at some point and update you guys in a bit. It's so beautiful. Hi guys, it's now the next day. I want to do a quick check-in. We've spent the entire day doing landscaping for our yard, and I am really happy with the way it turned out. I think it turned out really good, and we have a lot we still want to do, but we're getting started, and it feels really good to get started. I'm exhausted. It is like 5:30 now, and I just got out of the shower. I got some really good sun today, which was nice, but we're about to cook dinner, and we're just gonna do easy, I think. Micah's grilling, maybe chicken, and then I'm gonna just do some veggies and fries. But I'm excited to rest tonight. My goal is to try to get through some more of Agnes Ogbert's, and then we may watch a movie. We finished The Count of Monte Cristo, and it was so good and intense. I had a little bit of a bone to pick with the last episode and how it ended, but overall really good show, and it made me feel so much, and it made me be so excited and nervous to see how it was going to turn out. So that to me is a good show. So that was really fun, but now that we've finished that show, we've been in the middle of watching all of the Marvel movies through, which we've only like started like 2 of them, and there are like 30 something. So now we're on Iron Man, so we may watch that one tonight. We will see. So that's kind of our plan. We're just gonna kind of be chilling, and then today's Friday. I didn't have a lot of work to do today, thankfully, so we just did landscaping most of the day. And then tomorrow, I think we don't have a ton of a plan. So I'm gonna try to get a good bit of reading in tomorrow. Honestly, past that, I really don't know what we're gonna do. So we will just see. It will be an adventure. But yeah, just wanted to do a quick check-in. I'm honestly really tired right now. So it's gonna be better for me to give a bigger update once I have fully rested. But I'm also going to be showing you guys, I went to the thrift store yesterday and had the best haul. So I'm going to show you guys a few things that I got that I love so much. But yeah, other than that, I will see what we get up to a little bit later. It's getting kind of dark, but I'm in the book room, and I want to show you guys a few of the things that I've thrifted recently that I'm absolutely loving. So we're going to see if the lighting will turn out okay. I got this little darling tea set, and I think it was maybe $3.99. I thought it was absolutely precious and honestly just the best deal, and I immediately knew I wanted to put it on my Emily Wilde stack. And then I have been looking for some pillows to add to the book chair for ages, and I finally found these beautiful vintage pillows. I think they're so beautiful. And this is the full look on the reading couch. And then right above the chair, I have these little adorable antique frames with little birds' nests and birdhouses in them. I have another one right over here above our little desk. So here's the full view in frame. Here's a little overview of the book room. The lighting is really bad right now, so I apologize. And here's my other little book wall. And the last thing I got is this beautiful frame from the thrift store for $10. We've been looking for something to go over our sectional here for weeks now, and we finally decided on this. I think it's so beautiful. I feel like I'm eating at a restaurant. Hello friends, happy Saturday. I wanted to give a little bit of an update. I think last time I talked to y'all, it was last night. We ended up having a really yummy dinner, and then we went for a nice long evening walk, which was so nice. And I want to start doing that more, especially this spring as it warms up a little bit. So I really enjoyed that. And then we did watch the first Iron Man movie. I actually loved it. I have seen bits and pieces of different Avengers movies through the years, but it has been a really long time. And so I really enjoyed watching it again, and there was so much that I did not remember. So I'm really enjoying our little Avengers watch through, and I think we're going to watch Iron Man 2 tonight because I didn't know, but Disney Plus has this Avengers movie timeline, and so it shows the exact order to watch them in, which I love. It's super helpful. So I think we have a Iron Man 2, and then Hulk is next, but we might not watch Hulk because first of all, it does not have Mark Ruffalo in it in the original, and I love Mark Ruffalo and don't really want to watch it if he's not in it, and I don't think it really is going to mess up the timeline. So, but we are going to watch Iron Man 2 tonight, I think. So I'm excited about that. And then other plans, we finished our landscaping yesterday, we thought, and then this morning we realized that we still had a little bit of money left in the budget for it and a few flowers that we wanted to add. So we went back to Home Depot and Lowe's this morning, got more flowers and plants. So Micah is doing that right now. I kind of had my fill of that yesterday, and I don't really want to work in the yard today. So I'm gonna do some cozy hobbies this morning, I think, and then probably go out and sit and read outside while he's doing the yard work. I also want to give a little bit of a reading update and tell you guys where I'm at on Agnes Ogbert's and then also Magical Guide to Innkeeping. So for Agnes Ogbert's, I am about 20% of the way through the book. I'm still really, really enjoying it, and I feel like I'm about to get onto the cusp of the core plot line, and I think that's going to be really fun. Basically, or updated you guys last, Agnes just moved into this kind of creepy new place that everyone warned her away from, but she needed it for her cat shelter. And so here she is, and she's finally starting to realize why maybe it might be a little bit sketchy or people are warning her away from it, but she's just suspicious, and so she starts hunting for answers. She's visiting this little cozy bookshop beside her cat shelter to ask questions, which I loved that part. Super cozy. So right now it's definitely giving Harry Potter, but we haven't really gotten into a lot of the magic system of it yet, but I know we will, and I know it's there. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the writing. It's super easy to understand so far. And that's what I was afraid of, is that maybe I would get like bogged down and just kind of bored. But I haven't yet. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm hopeful that I'm going to make a good bit of headway in that book this weekend. I've just been reading in bits and pieces when I had a free minute, and I haven't had a chance to just sit down and plow through. So I'm hoping that chance will come today. And then with Magical Guide to Innkeeping, I'm almost done. I think I have an hour left of the audiobook, and it's so good. I've really enjoyed it. Most of the conflict in the book has been resolved now, and we're kind of just seeing everyone's happy ending and seeing how everyone ends up. So I'm enjoying that, and it's really fun. I should finish it up today or tomorrow. Oh, and I also wanted to say, for A Magical Guide to Innkeeping, that one did have, I just stumbled upon a few places I needed to skip. I'm listening to the audiobook, so I can't tell you exactly where, but I can look at the chapters and find out, and that'll probably be my Goodreads review. But it wasn't anything crazy. It was just like I started to be like, oh, it's a little bit. I feel like they're gonna go somewhere I don't really want to follow, so I just skipped a few 30 seconds and we were gone. We were done. So I think that one's fine. It does have a few mentions of language, just a handful of times. So it hasn't been anything crazy. If anything, I would give it like one spice pepper, but just keep that in mind because I know I prefer spice ratings. So I know where to skip. But that is my reading update. I did go to Books A Million today while Micah was at Lowe's. I went to Books A Million and it was really fun. I did not get anything. They did have a really good clearance section today, and there are a few books that I considered, but I'm trying to be pickier with my book buying and only buy books that I know I'm going to read immediately, or that I want as like a trophy read from a book that I loved. So I didn't find any of that. I did find Just Friends by Haley Pham, and I really want to buy the book, and I know I'm going to, but right now it's just so expensive, and so I'm either going to wait for the price to drop eventually. Maybe I can find it on Pango Books, or I'll just wait until I get a gift card or something and I'll go buy it. But I did find that book, and I'm so excited to read it. So hopefully I will get to it soon. But I think that's all the updates. I'm going to probably read here for a few minutes, and then I need to do some meal prep, make some more egg bites again. And I also may do some sourdough and make a loaf tomorrow. So we will see what I get up to. But one more thing. I do want to try crochet project, and the one crochet project that is probably much too far out of my league and too complicated for me, but I want to try making headphone covers for my headphones. I've just seen the cutest ones on Pinterest, so I was looking at some patterns last night. I may try that, or I'll just go the easy way and just make the little like dangles to put on them. Like I've seen some cherry dangles, some strawberry ones. So I might just do that if I feel like the pattern for the full cover is too complicated, but I really want to try something like that. So we will see what I get up to, but that's another item on the agenda that I may or may not tackle in this video, but something that I really want to try. So if you do know of an easy crochet pattern, please comment down below. If you have a YouTuber that you like watching, or anybody on Instagram that does actual easy crochet patterns for beginners, I would love to know that, just because I don't know, I'm just like struggling to comprehend all of the different ways of crocheting and the different patterns. It's like overwhelming to me, but I really want to get into it. So we may or may not get to that this weekend, but that's just an idea that I had the other night that I was looking into. So let's do some reading, some cozy hobbies, and have a fun Saturday. Okay, hi guys. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit frustrated at the moment because I've spent, I think, the past maybe 2.5 hours trying my very hardest to crochet. And I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up, but I think that I'm just gonna have to start so basic, because the video that I'm watching is Lil Thing's Crochet Moon and Star headphone accessory. It looked so easy, so basic, and I thought for sure I could do it. And I'm not gonna give up. But Here are my very unfinished, very imperfect moons. They have all of the string attached because I'm currently trying to sew them together to become one moon. Very imperfect. I wish I could say I had fun doing it, but I'm not gonna lie, I was just so hard on myself and so like stressed trying to get it to work that I think I just stressed myself out. But I did read some of the comments on this post, and a lot of people who are true beginners like me are saying that you need to go do granny squares, you need to learn your stitches all before doing this kind of thing. So I think I just feel like it's really hard because I started with something that's not actually beginner friendly. Because I'm like beginner friendly. I don't really know anything about crochet. So I'm gonna try to do some granny squares maybe a different day, but I'm really proud of myself for just trying because I have a kit that I got from Amazon that I love. It has a really cute little cover with cats on it, and I'm like, I have all this stuff. I just need someone to sit with me and help me, or also maybe just practice granny squares to get used to how it works. Also, I will say I love this kit, but this yarn is so fine. It's extremely hard to crochet with. It could just be because I'm a beginner, but I'm just having the hardest time. In every video that I watch, no one has yarn this fine. Everyone uses a thicker yarn. So I went to the store last time I struggled with this and bought some more yarn, and I like this one okay, and I think this one would have been fine, but it's very rough material. It's not very soft, and it also wasn't working for this project because it's a moon and star, and I want it to be pink and yellow. And so I could have used this for the star, but I've only done the moon, which is yellow. So I'd like to say that's how my project went today. I'm proud of myself for trying, but I'm just not, it just didn't work still the way I wanted it to. I'm gonna obviously leave these as they are and then practice some granny squares more. And then as I get comfortable with that, more comfortable, then I think I will transition to actually trying to finish this project. Yeah, so that's where we are on our crochet. Hello friends, it is now Sunday and we're back from church now, and I'm about to have just a cozy afternoon reading. But let's talk about the book that I just finished. In the last vlog and part of this vlog, I was reading Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana, which I just finished listening to the audiobook of. I really enjoyed this book. I would probably give it like a 4.5, which is a really good rating for me. Like, definitely recommend reading it. It was so cozy, but not only that, it had so much heart to it still, and it was so comforting. So I really recommend, and it was a really flexible read seasonally. So if you're a mood reader like me, it's a great spring read, although there were some mentions of fall, so you could read it in autumn too. But it honestly just encompassed all the seasons and kind of went through like a year or so of her life, so you still could enjoy it in any season really. But I enjoyed it so much, and the end was like really emotional and really sweet. I think the main theme takeaway is just coming back to yourself and realizing that we all change so much in our lifetime, but knowing that it's okay. It's okay to change, and it's okay to break and fall apart and be put back together again. And I think seeing it through a Christian perspective, as I do, I think it ties in an even beautiful picture for me of knowing that Christ is the one who ties me back together, and he's the one who puts me back together when I am broken, and he is fully whole even when I am broken. So that was really beautiful. Obviously, there is zero Christian elements in this. That is me putting my own worldview on that. So that was the way that I looked at it. But it does talk a lot about identity and that type of thing. But I really enjoyed it. There were a few content warnings. I will say there were, like I mentioned before, there were a few parts that I skipped past, but Other than the ones that I mentioned earlier, there wasn't anything else, and very light as far as that goes. There were a few mentions of language just spread throughout. I would say probably level 2 of 5, so nothing intense, but there was some language. For anyone who's wanting to know about this, there is a couple in this, so it kind of goes over your head. There isn't anything too detailed about it, but there is that for a content warning. But other than that, I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was really good and cozy, and I love that it wove romance and kind of fiction and magic all together. So, really enjoyed that one. Now I'm about to read a little bit more of Agnes Ogbert's Magical Cat Shelter. I'm about 40% of the way through, I think, and I'm enjoying it. We have gotten into some of the magic. I read some of it a good bit yesterday, and we're really getting into more of the magic. There is a kind of world within the world in this book called Riverwood, and it's awesome. It's like this realm that you get through this magical door, and it's like a dark forest, and there's different 5 different realms within this world in Riverwood, and you have to go to certain ones to get magic to bring back to the real world, from my understanding. So we're kind of following along with an adventure that Agnes and the now Witch King that we have met, they are going on an adventure together to kind of retrieve this magic that they need. I'm not going to say anything more than that because I don't want to give spoilers, but I'm really enjoying it. It's cozy, and I feel like I'm on the brink of an adventure. So I'm going to read more of that today and then just have a cozy day. I think I may end up ending the vlog today. I started it Wednesday. It's now Sunday. I'm going to be jumping into a new week and probably a new vlog tomorrow. So I think I will end this one off here. But for now, let's dive into more of Agnes Ogbert. Alright guys, I wanted to do a little bit of a update before I sign off for this vlog. I ended up taking the longest nap this afternoon. I fell asleep around maybe 1:30, 1:45, and did not wake up until 4 p.m. But I know for sure that my body just needed it. I was exhausted and just really needed the rest. So that was really good. I woke up feeling much more energized. So for the past couple hours, I've been meal prepping, and I also got so much done. So that feels really good. I was able to make my egg bites for the week, and then I fed my sourdough starter. And then I also made some cookies. I made a really big batch. So I'm hoping that that'll last us through the week as just a little sweet treat. So that was really fun. So now that that's done, we're going to watch our next Avengers movie, which is Thor tonight. So I'm really excited for that. But I'm going to end the vlog here, I think. Hopefully I will have another video coming out soon. Again, I'm not really sure of posting times. We're just kind of seeing how it goes. I'm really tired of putting pressure on myself, and then I feel really bad when I don't get something out and it's really not that big of a deal. So, hopefully I'll have another video out soon. I really enjoyed filming this one. As for cozy hobbies, I will update y'all on where I'm at with my crochet project and my reading and all of those fun things in the next video. Thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!